If there was an urgency in the air, it was because the beginning of the end is rapidly approaching. With less than a week to go before the first round of France's presidential elections, all 10 official candidates were taking advantage of every minute to make their pitches. But it was the two leaders who held the most visible rallies in Paris. President Nicolas Sarkozy, who has been running neck and neck with his socialist opponent, repeated a theme he's used before, making it sound as if the ship of state would run onto the rocks if he was not at the helm.
La France de Victor Hugo et du Général de Gaulle.
It is the France of Victor Hugo and General de Gaulle, the France which looks to the future, the France which chooses progress, the France which wants to put itself at the service of all humanity. That is your France. Take your destiny in hand.
Prenez votre destin en main.
Meanwhile, across town, his rival, François Hollande, made an equally passionate appeal for changing the captain on the ship of state.
I call on you to severely judge the last 5 years. To judge is legitimate, necessary, and a moral obligation. So many broken promises, so many decisions that were not thought out, behaviors not mastered, so many failures left unrecognized.
But the two men are not the only ones in this first round, and what's proving most interesting for the pundits is what's happening on the fringes. On the extreme right, National Front leader Marine Le Pen seems to be pulling President Sarkozy's discourse her way, especially on the issue of immigration, as the president tries to attract her supporters. And on the extreme left, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, a former teacher who represents a coalition of communists, Trotskyites, and others, is showing unexpected strength, so much so that he could finish in third place next Sunday, enough to inject his views into the political discourse, as Hollande may need his help to beat Sarkozy. If there was a common theme in all of the candidates' pitches, it was to get out the vote. And despite some recent polls that indicate up to a quarter of the French don't intend to cast a ballot next Sunday, at least at the big rallies, electoral passions were running high. And some thought more was at stake than just domestic politics.
At an international level and at a European level, and it's very important that the left be in power again in France.
He's a good president, you know, and we hope that he will be there for a long time. It's important for us, international, and for France and for Europe.
But the real importance for next Sunday's election is for the two frontrunners who are already engaged in direct combat. It's almost certain that Sarkozy and Hollande will be the two men left standing after next Sunday's vote. The real battle between the two men is over who's going to come out on top, something that could provide the momentum going towards the ultimate victory, the runoff elections on May 6th. Jim Bitterman, CNN, Paris.